Hello guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary for today. I have hay fever today, so I might sneeze a lot throughout the video, so don't worry. Everything's fine. You'll still get the information. So my name is Becky and I take these 3D market commentaries 3 times a week. My email address is there, becky@tradictive.com. There's also support@tradictive.com, which is an email address that you can use just there. Now there's also another link you can go to if you have questions, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky. From that link you can get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership, and then you can come down here and you can ask questions in this public space so that I can answer them in this public space. It means that everybody sees the questions and answers and we all learn from the same area. So ideally that's where you'd go to post questions. Now let's just make sure that we cover the disclaimers, because that's always important, always something we need to make sure we do. There we go. They're up there in the top left hand corner. Please read them, of course, for legal reasons, and also to understand that videos like this are demonstrations and do not necessarily indicate the result that you may receive. Okay, so a 3D market commentary. Every day we send out an email. I'll pull it up now. We send out an email that has information on 5 major world markets, looking at 3 separate approaches, or 3 separate elements in the approach. So what we do is we look at 5 major world markets, and for each of them we want to know their market climate, which is where is the direction, where's the upcoming market direction, up or down? Do we have probabilities to the upside, to the downside? Should we be looking to buy or sell, or go long or short? In some cases we don't have enough probability either way, in which case we do nothing, but what we want to know is where the probabilities lie to help us decide in the first place what we should be doing, buying or selling, or maybe doing nothing. We use an app to help us with this. It's our Auto Climate app, which is this one here. Excuse me, I thought I was going to sneeze then. Ignore the lines for now and just focus just on these dots. These dots tell us where we have probability. So it might be a thick blue dot that tells us we have probability upwards. It might be a thick red dot that tells us we have probability downwards, or it may be a thin dot of either colour, and that tells us not enough probability either way. So really easy to interpret this app to give us the answer whether we should be going up or down, whether we should be buying or selling. Then we want to know, if we're going to buy, where are we going to buy? If we're going to sell, where are we going to sell? That's why we use this app. It's called AutoUFOs. This shows us where we have buyers in the form of green UFOs and sellers in the form of red UFOs. And it tells us the prices. On the right hand side, where, between which prices do we have buyers and sellers? Now that's useful because if we want to buy, we want to buy where there's lots of other buying. It's more likely to push price upwards. If we want to sell, we want to sell where there's lots of other selling, because that's going to push price downwards. So again, we use an app to show us where those are on a chart so we know where to be buying and selling. Then we want to know market volatility. How quickly can we expect these markets to move? So we'll look at each of these 3 elements for each of these 5 markets. First market we're looking at here is the S&P 500, which is the top 500 US stocks. We're looking at the ES, which is the futures contract for it. Now again, you guys might not use futures, you might not know what they are. Essentially we are looking at a representation of US stocks. That's what we're looking at here. So with US stocks we have a confirmed downwards climate. A thick red dot there tells us probability downwards, tells us we should be looking to sell. Now usually this market would go down for 3 candles, just rounded that up, and we're on candle number 1. So that tells us, based on what usually happens, is that we have probability to continue down based on what usually happens. Now we have these sell orders here that have pushed price down. Those are from 44.76.50 to 44.11.75. And then we have buy orders quite a way down here at 41.23 to 40.55.50. So overall there, probability downwards for the time being with the S&P. Now based on volatility figures, we would expect that in 1 year, price would move up or down of 23.37%. So in a day, that's up or down of 64.29 points. In a week would be 141.52 points. And in 1 month is 294.6 points. Overall, that would be the expectation of the movement that we expect, and overall probability down for the time being with the S&P. So move on to the next market, which is oil. In the meantime, it says there about educating yourself. We do have many courses that you can take in stocks, futures, forex, backtesting, trading plans, psychology. So you can take those courses if you think they'll be helpful to you. Most of them come with 3 months of complimentary access to the apps. Now, AutoClimate, which is this one here, that's a free app. On most platforms, you use it on anyway. AutoUFOs is a paid-for app. That's these ones. It's a paid-for app. Depends on which platform you use as to how much it costs. So check out the platforms that you use and therefore which ones are more relevant to you. Now, with the UFOs, they do come as complimentary for 3 months as part of most of our courses. And it actually works out slightly cheaper to do a course and get 3 months access than it would be to just do 3 months worth of a subscription, if that makes sense. So obviously do what's best for you, but that might actually work out cheaper to do a course anyway. So with crude oil, we have a confirmed downwards climate, a thick red dots here, probability to the downside. We have sell orders here, they're relatively new ones as well. That's 69.19 to 65.73. So what they've done as well, so they were here, price came in, sorry, I keep thinking I'm going to say, sorry guys, price came in and was pushed down. That's what we expect sell orders to do, is push price down. So that's exactly what they've done, and that's why we want to know where they are. Our buy orders are here, 60.77 to 58.73. They've already worked to push price up from this point. Still haven't come back from this point here. So again, we want to know where these buy and sell orders are so we can buy with the buy orders and sell with the sell orders. Gives us a better probability that price does move up or down from those areas. Now, in terms of volatility, with oil, we would expect that in 1 year, it would be a movement up or down of 40.86%. In a day, it would be up or down of 1.62 points. In a week, 3.57 points up or down. And in 1 month, 7.43 points up or down. So overall, we have probability for crude oil to the downside, and that's what we would expect based on these figures. Now, as we say all the time, this is based on probability, right? It's not definite. It's not 100% going to happen. We never know what's 100% going to happen, which is why we manage our risk, which is why we might add more variables to increase our probability. But for us, we just want to know where the probabilities lie, because if we're going to make a trading decision, we'd rather make a decision based on what's probable to happen, what's more likely to happen, based on statistics and technology, rather than subjective gut feels and things like that. So moving on to gold, which is the next market. Now with gold, I've just loaded it here, we have an unconfirmed climate. It's a thin dot, doesn't matter the colour, unconfirmed, not enough probability either way. And unsurprising, considering we have sell orders close by and buy orders close by. We've got buying and selling going on very close to each other, which means that price doesn't really know what to do. There's not a clear winner yet, which is why it's an unconfirmed climate. So we have sell orders at 1835.9 to 1799.7, and we have buy orders here at 1759.6 to 1742.6. In fact, it overlaps a little bit, so I think it's 1759.6 to 1739.4 might also be true. So basically, we have buy and sell orders, again, very close to each other, that could be fighting at the moment. We don't want to get involved whilst there's a fight on, so let them fight it out. Whoever wins, wins, and that will be who we follow, because that will be where the probability lies. This is on a daily chart, by the way. Each of these markets, we're looking at daily charts. Different things happen on different time frames. These are all relevant to daily charts. Now, with volatility on gold, we would expect movement up or down in a year of 15.8%. So in a day, up or down of 17.83 points. In a week, 39.25 points. And in 1 month, 81.71 points up or down. Overall, not enough probability either way with gold to call it on this time frame. It says here about coaching and support. We offer loads of coaching and support for free online, so you can find us on YouTube and Facebook and things like that. Otherwise, we do have a closed coaching community that you can join. It's a small monthly fee, and it gives you more access to our time on in our sessions, more access to our time in a closed environment. I don't know why I just did that then. Just changed the time frame. I want a daily chart of the US dollar index. There we go. That's what I was trying to do, is squidge this out. Here we go. So with the US dollar, that's the next market that we're looking at. What I'm trying to do here is squidge it so we can see the sell orders and the buy orders. There we go. So we have a confirmed upwards climate, a thick blue dot here, probability upwards on the US dollar. Usually the dollar would go up for 5 candles and we're on candle number 2, so still probability to the upside. It's also just broken some sell orders. We had sell orders that came back from around about here. So we had sell orders that were sort of there and they've pushed them, they've broken them. So again, strength to the upside. We have buy orders here at 92.665 to 92.47. And we have sell orders up here at 93.375 to 94.775. So we've got a little way to go before we hit the sell orders. So overall, probability up there with the dollar. In terms of volatility, in 1 year, we'd expect movement up or down of 5.49%, which is 0.32 points in a day, 0.71 points in a week, and 1.48 points in a month. Again, these are all either up or down within those given periods of time. Overall probability up there with the US dollar. Now we have backed Bitcoin. That's the last market. It says they're about interested but have questions. Basically, you can self-schedule a clarification call with one of our experts to speak to us about the apps, the coaching, the memberships, what's going to work better for you, and talk that through with somebody. So with backed Bitcoin, we have a confirmed upwards climate, a thick blue dot, probability upwards, although it's been going on for 21 candles so far, so it might be coming to an end. We don't actually know how long these markets do usually go up for or down for, now with Bitcoin or with most cryptocurrencies, because they're not old enough yet. We don't have enough data to say that normally happens or this normally happens. We just don't know. What we do know is that it's been going up consistently for 21 consecutive candles, so bear that in mind. Now we have sell orders here, 51,782.5 to 46,807. They are pushing price down. Price hit them here, came down, went back up, hit them again, and is moving down. Now we have buy orders here at 41,460 to 37,437.5. So for the time being, we have probability up with the climate. We have sellers that have just come in and pushed price down, but they might hit buy orders soon that push them back up again. For the time being, I would say it's probably not enough. We've just hit sell orders, so we've got buyers and sellers fighting each other, kind of where we are now. To me, it's not enough probability one way or the other, but if you had to call it, it would be probability upwards. Now, in terms of volatility, in a year, we'd expect movement up or down of 125.55%. So in a day, up or down of 3,512.74. In a week, 7,732.94. And in a month, 16,097.4. These are points moving up or down in those periods of time. Okay, so we've looked at each of the markets. We've looked at their climates, their UFOs and their volatility. Now let's have a quick look at the weekly economic calendar to see what might be coming up that could affect us. We look using the FX Street economic calendar, filter by high impact news so that we can see the scheduled news reports that may cause volatility in the markets. Today being Thursday, we have news coming out. I have to say, I'm not even sure. Is that Hungarian? I don't know. I'm not even sure what country that top one is. That's my bad. Sorry there. And then we have the Chinese yuan as well that could see some news that could impact it. So depending on where you trade in the world, which countries you trade in, which stock markets you trade, which currencies you trade, obviously it could be relevant or irrelevant to you today. Just check the weekly economic calendar based on what you trade so you can see when you might have unexpected or actually expected volatility here. If you have any questions, you can go to tradewithufos.com/Becky. Get yourself your free Trade with UFOs membership up here, and then come down and you can ask a question in this area so that you can post the question publicly. I can then answer it publicly, and that helps everybody out. So I will be back tomorrow for the market commentary then. So I'll see you guys then. Any questions, please get in touch. Otherwise, have a great trading day, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.